Bobby, nice to meet you. Welcome to El Salvador. It's a big pleasure to talk to you and make this a special report for all the fans from Overkill here in Latin America.
Hey, fantastic. I'm glad to see you again. It's been a few years, and we can catch up a little here and have a good time tomorrow at the show in Anthrax.
Is this your first time in El Salvador, right?
This is our first time in Salvador. We've been to some places in Central America before. I think primarily it was Costa Rica. But this is kind of exciting to get a few new places in, especially El Salvador.
What expectation have you in share your legacy or celebrate your legacy with many fans from many countries, Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, together gathered here in El Salvador?
The countries are so close to each other. They're smaller than many other countries, so I think it gives you an opportunity to go across multiple cultures with regard to that, or multiple countries anyway, and reach out to them. But I always think it's special the first time you come, because the first time is always the best time, because there's anticipation from the band that we've never been here. There's anticipation from the people, the metalheads that say we've never got to see Overkill yet. So.
Currently, you are presenting your new album called Scourge. I was to say you congratulating. This is another big album that Overkill made in the history. What impression do you have about the critics from many people, from the fans and critics have about this new album, Bobby?
Well, it's funny. The album is actually a year old today. It was released on the 14th, 2023. So we were on the road in Europe at the time, and we had no idea what we were going to feel about it. We had released a few singles, and they seemed to be accepted really well. But I think it's probably one of the records that's considered more than the top half, maybe in the top 25% of our career. That is still a good record this many years later with the band doing it. It's still a very viable live feeling record.
Yes, you got that right. Currently, you tour with Anthrax. How was the idea in joining forces for make this possible, this tour?
Well, this was done by the promoter, Christian Kramer, and the guy was also doing some stuff with Anthrax and our people in the U.S. Anthrax and ourselves are booked by a company called TKO. We both work with the same agent, Mike Monterulo. And Mike used to be the bass tech for Frankie Bello. So that this is why it kind of worked out, that it was just, hey, listen, they're looking to go out, you're looking to go out. Christian is, he's knocking on my door. Let's get a couple of shows together down there. Let's do some festivals and some headline shows, etc.
Yes, we understand this point, Bobby. We know that Didi Bernie don't come to play with you by health issues. From here, we wish a good speed recovery for Didi. But David Ellefson joins in play with you in this tour. How was the contact with you and David for not change all the plans for this tour?
Well, David and Overkill have been friends since Peace Cells and Taking Over. We're in touch. We're even in the present day, I help out in Metal Allegiance when they're doing things in Anaheim or New York City, and that's with David, Alex Skolnick, Mark Mengi, and Mike Portnoy. So it's a comfortable feeling, and I brought it up to him at a Metal Allegiance show out in Anaheim, and he said, "Hey, let me know if I'm free. I'll more than happily help." And we had been using prior Speezy from Creator. Okay, we used him.
Christian, Creator.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we used him over in Europe, but we wanted to get back to that kind of David's a pick player, and there's so much more of an attack with that. And it's also, I think he understands the band, and this was kind of an American, South American kind of a vibe going on. So we just went local, and it was so far so good. It just seems to be like the big rock show was happening with David filling in for Didi.
About this current set list that the band will play tonight, is there any changes in the songs, or we have the same set list that currently present in this tour?
Well, it's the same set list, and that's because we have really a new member. It's not like you can just throw new songs in off the top of your head and say, okay, let's do this off of the grinding wheel, David's not going to be up on every one of the tunes of the Overkill catalog. There's 20 records. It's not fair.
No. You got it right. It's not fair.
It's not fair. But you'll hear 3 from Scorched. You'll hear something from the grinding wheel. You'll hear some of the old classic Kill, that kind of stuff. Hammerheads and Rotten to the Core will be in there, stuff like such.
In 2025, in the history of Overkill, we have the celebration of 40 years of Feed the Fire. And of course, in this year, WFO currently celebrates 30 years of existence. I don't know, is there any possibility or any chance that Overkill can revisit these two classical albums in a live show?
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
No, we did Feel the Fire back then. Its 35th anniversary, and when was it? We did the live record, live at Oberhausen.
Uh-huh.
That was the Feel the Fire. When was that? 2018. And then 25 years of Horoscope or something like so.
Uh-huh.
And we put those 2 together for that. But I don't see us doing that again. I mean, that was for a contract that we had to make a DVD.
I had a fun curiosity about the history of Overkill. We know that many bands have a lot of mascots. Big Brother had from Megadeth, like example, Snake or Two from Motorhead, Eddie from Iron Maiden. But in this case, from Overkill, Charlie the Bat. How was the idea? Who give form to this character, the special character in Overkill?
Well, the form came from Didi Verney, and the whole idea of it was that bands that were bigger had mascots.
Uh-huh.
So that's why we decided that we wanted one also. That we wanted to align ourselves with bigger bands back then, whether they be Iron Maiden with Eddie or...
For you, what is the secret of the longevity of a great band like Overkill for make classical record like this?
Well, I think that really what happens with us is that we're, we speak in one voice. We have the same goals. Nothing's really changed that much from when we were kids with regard to how we want to present ourselves. It's energy. We love it. We present it to those we love. I think that this is probably the key elements. Now, obviously, the men change, within the band over the years. But I think when the presentation comes up, it's not that much different from 40 years ago in Feel the Fire.
Yes, very interesting. Okay, about the artificial intelligence, currently many bands use this kind of technology for make covers or perhaps make songs.
Of course.
Is good or bad? You as musician, is good or bad that many bands use this resource in the record industry currently?
I can't really say because I haven't had that opportunity yet to even try it, and I can't make a decision just based on conjecture and projecting that somebody is doing the wrong thing. I just don't know. If I use it and I see that it becomes very generic or sterilized, sure, then I would say, oh, it doesn't work for me. I think, though, that when it comes to technology, you have to embrace it to some degree, because if you don't embrace it, it runs right by you. So it just leaves you behind. So I think that it will be something in music, love it or hate it, it's going to be there from this point on.
Okay, my dear friend, what is next for Overkill when the tour is over? I don't know, we're recording something new for 2025 or perhaps the last month of this year?
Well, Didi's rehab is coming to a close, so we're gonna go do the Milwaukee Metal Fest at the end of May. Some local shows. Then we do. I think we're in Portugal over the summer. 1 or 2 fests over in Europe. A European tour, and we're still going to tour, kind of a thing. So hopefully Didi can make it for all of it. We're not 100% sure at this point. And then we think that we'll be demoed with a full demo by a year from right now for the next record.
Thank you so much for your time in this interview, and of course we wish the best for the show of tomorrow tonight. The fans will celebrate the legacy of a great band like Overkill.
Fantastic. Well, we got it done.
Que el rock y el metal no falten siempre en su dieta diaria, y como dice el señor Bobby Ellsworth, we don't care what you say.